Hey guys, so today I'm going to be sharing 5 allergy-friendly recipes for those of you guys living with food allergies. I know that there's a lot of you out there who live with allergies that can range from, something minor like foods causing you irritation and making you itch, and to, more serious and more chronic conditions. My dad has lived with eczema for years and he struggles every day to, find foods that actually make him feel good and to not make things flare up, etc., etc. And I know that a lot of people live with that issue as well, and it's sort of become like sometimes that food is the enemy and you never mind finding really foods that taste good, but you're just really trying to find foods that are agreeable to your body. And I guess what spurred this video for me is a couple weeks back I actually had a really severe contact allergy to, I still can't figure out what exactly I put on my face, and I'm sure that you guys can kind of still see that right now. And even though my allergy was turned on by something, contact to my skin, I still found that certain foods that I ate, especially things that contained a lot of sugar, things that somehow contained a little bit of spice that kind of made your body feel warm, actually made my rashes flare up even more. And first couple of days I was just really on edge because just everything made me itchy and everything didn't make me feel good. But anyways, over the last couple of weeks I've developed a couple of recipes that are clean, that don't have a lot of stuff in it, because it is true that while your body is on kind of high alert like this, the less that you have, really the better, because there's not just that much to be allergic to. And of course, those of you with allergies know of the big 8, so I'm gonna put those up, but things like soy and wheat, and obviously crustaceans, shellfish, milk, eggs, etc., etc. So basically what I've created is 5 recipes that do not contain any of the big 8 allergens, and of course you guys can customize it as to your allergy, because some people are allergic to more things. 5 recipes that you guys can essentially put on rotation so that you don't have to feel bored, so that while your body is kind of on this elevated state of high alert, that you can feel comfortable about the food that you're eating and know that it's going to be comforting and delicious and not contain all of these allergens, and you can feel good about eating it. So the first recipe that I made was actually a vegetable pho. What I did was I created a very basic vegetable stock just with some carrots, some celery, and some onions, no salt or anything, so that this is, really as light as you want it to be. You can flavor it more if you want, and this became a base for a lot of my soups. Like, you can have it be chicken soup, you can have it be a risotto, but this stock is really the magic behind everything. And essentially what I did was I soaked up some rice noodles, and then after the stock was done, I cut up a bunch of vegetables in there, and then also beans. Beans are going to be a big friend of yours because they're not, like a big allergen like soy or whatnot. But if you happen to know that you're not allergic to soy, feel free to put some tofu cubes in this as well, so that is going to be your source of protein. I loaded this guy up with vegetables, which is always going to help, and then I added in just some soaked up rice noodles. So this whole recipe, if you have the vegetable stock, can be put together within 15 minutes, which is great for when you're sick and you're cooking for yourself. You definitely don't want to be over the stove or in hot places too long, because that makes things flare up, or that's not necessarily great for allergies. So it's just something really easy and simple to put together, and that stock is going to be a lifesaver. A good tip for, let's say, if you don't necessarily have stock and you didn't make it yet, is to maybe pick first a good brand of vegetable stock and then use half of the vegetable stock and then mix the other half with water, just so that it is kind of a lighter and cleaner mixture. And that should suffice pretty okay. The second recipe that's really easy is actually a mushroom brown rice soup. It is super comforting, and it is thick, and it is nice, and you can actually just, put everything into a pot and then walk away and then come back later and you'll get, a nice pot like this. I think the key to this is to just find a nice, good brand of mushroom stock. And again, if you feel like the mushroom stock has, too much flavor or too much salt or whatever, feel free to water it down. Because I definitely think for me, the dishes that were a little bit too strong in flavors and spices definitely kind of made me itchy and definitely made me flare up some more. So, remember to kind of water that down. And what I ended up doing was I added lentils and peas to the soup as well, because they provide a nice source of fiber, but then also really good protein. And if you guys stick to lentils and beans and, peas for your source of protein, those are going to be great because they're not really associated with anything like allergenic, such as, wheat for seitan, or soy for tofu or whatnot. So, stick to beans, rice and beans. Those are going to be good things for you guys. Number 3 is a vegetable casserole. I have a really good friend that makes all of these casserole recipes, and I'll try to put her link down below. This is essentially a one-pot dish where you throw all of your vegetables in. It's like tomatoes, zucchini, fennel, chickpeas for protein, and you just throw the dish into the oven. You're one and done, and you're all set. And then afterwards, you can spoon it over some rice or some pasta, or if you don't want to do pasta, a really nice thing is actually cauliflower rice, where you just throw a cauliflower into the food processor and you grind it up, and it turns into like really like nice small pieces of couscous, and you can just stick it into the microwave or something, and then it will kind of soften and really turn into rice. And cauliflower rice is definitely something that I would recommend to people who think that they have allergies to grain, because it tastes very much like, again, couscous or rice, and it really takes seconds to make. The 4th recipe is kale pesto. Now, a while ago I did a basil avocado pesto that used walnuts, but actually what you can easily do is to substitute seeds. So pumpkin seeds are actually something that is really rich in like magnesium and also protein as well. So substitute that in for seeds, and then some kale and some lemon juice, and you guys actually have yourself a really flavorful sauce with none of the allergens. And a good type of pasta to pair the pesto up with is actually in the stores they're starting to make like corn and quinoa pasta, so pastas that are not wheat based, so that you kind of eliminate that allergen, and it's kind of really nice. It's a change in texture as well, so this pesto is going to be perfect over that. The 5th, and I always like to end with dessert because I think that everybody needs a sweet treat, is my any fruit crumbles. So I actually make the toppings using things like flaxseed and coconut, and then I sweeten it just with a little bit of brown rice syrup so that it's not overly sweet. Again, when you have allergies, obviously sugar is something that is highly inflammatory, so you don't want too much of that in your system. But for this, you can actually, pick whatever fruit is in the season. You can add as much or as little sugar as you want to it. Personally, I think it's best to kind of just keep it like fruity, mostly clean, and then put this crumble topping on top of it. And the crumble is really nice because it is really packed with all different types of texture and all different types of flavor, from the nutty flax seeds to also the little bits of coconut. And I absolutely love this recipe. You can always make the crumble ahead of time, throw it into the freezer, and then whenever you have the chance to get fruits from the supermarket, you just cut up the fruits, put that on the bottom, and then put the crumble over the top, and you have yourself a really nice, light, and allergy-friendly dessert. Anyways, guys, I hope that these 5 recipes will help bring some kind of excitement to something that's not always so fun. And I really think that they're very delicious as well, so hopefully it'll be a nice addition to your repertoire. So I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye.